Hey, everybody. Sharky and Ash here. We've been thinking about doing a little podcast. We've been talking,
Pondering a bit.
We've been pondering. And Ashley came up with the name, which I thought was cool, which is...
I mean, I'm pretty cool. Once I was broke.
Once I was broke. Now, broke doesn't mean financially.
No. Physically, obviously. You could be physically. I've seen you be broke.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you citing a certain time or experience, or you just see me get beat up too many times? What is it?
I've heard your beat up stories. I know that your nose has gotten jacked quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of a holiday story.
Oh.
I mean, if we want, it's post holiday right now, but I don't know out there if anybody else finds laughter when someone gets hurt. I know that's really.
Is this about me getting hurt?
Yeah. It is.
All right, go ahead, lay it on me.
I think there's a term for that. I don't know. I think that, or maybe I'm just. Once the person is okay and in the clear, then you kind of laugh. I don't know. There's
what
something
if you're
about,
that person, though?
Then you don't want anyone to laugh. You want to crawl in a hole because there's nothing worse. Like my biggest fear is like falling down some bleachers in front of some people. So the whole time I'm walking down something, I'm like, don't fall. But you didn't do that. You didn't probably tell yourself to not fall. So my dad.
Oh my God, here we go.
It's Christmas time. And, it couldn't be simple. We had to buy the biggest wreath and have the biggest wreath on the block. And where were you going to hang that, Dad?
Well, my idea was to put it up at the very peak of the top of the two-story garage.
Yeah, of course.
Because the thing was probably, 6 foot by 6 foot?
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not real handy. Ashley will tell you that.
No, he is good at hiring help.
Right.
Hiring help, it'll get it done.
Yeah.
But you're like, no, it's not.
So you're saying I'm a great administrator.
Yes,
right.
Great
okay.
administrative
Thank you.
qualities.
Needed that. Yeah. So I went up. I remember you and your mom were on the front porch putting lights up, and I went on my own up this big tall ladder.
First mistake.
I got to the top, and the top thing said "Don't step," and I'm 2.5 stories up, and I reached, and I'm about probably 1.5 feet from getting it. So I knew I was up against the garage. It was fine.
Yeah.
And I
what
put
could
my
go
foot.
wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? So I put my foot up on the top of the ladder, and right as I leaned with the wreath, my foot pushed the ladder backwards, and I went 2.5 stories straight down.
Yeah, I heard a big thud. And our driveway, mind you guys, it is like pebbled.
Aggregate.
Aggregate.
Yeah.
Aggregate.
Yeah.
That's a word.
I got terms.
That is term. I thought my vocab was good.
Hey, no, when I fall on my own head or my own hip,
you learn what the surface is called.
I learned what the surface is.
Okay.
But I landed on my hip and my hand.
Your hand saved you.
Yep.
Your pride did not.
No.
It was like once we figured out my dad was okay, we're like,
Can I make that noise again when I hit the ground?
Yeah. Yeah, it was that. So whenever I would hear my dad go, I knew laughter was about to ensue because there's just something so funny about, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's funny. Just like, I would pull my dad's ears when he was driving and go, I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I just
And by the way, that wasn't last week.
No.
That was when you were like 3.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That wasn't current.
Yeah.
No.
You can't be one of the top internet influencers and still drive your dad's ears.
No,
let's face it.
You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, but I would be really, Yeah. I was young, but my dad biffed pretty hard and we laughed and he was like, you know what? Like, screw you guys. Like, I was hanging up this goddamn wreath for you.
Yeah.
But wait, did the wreath stay up? Or did the wreath came down with you?
Stay up.
The wreath stayed up.
Yeah.
So it was worth it.
So I accomplished, as usual, I accomplished the mission.
Yes.
But it was ugly. And I had those pebble marks in my hand for about 2 days because I smashed it. I had a big bruise on my hip, but they got a good laugh out of it. So there's that one. So you're going to hear, if we decide to do this podcast, which we're leaning towards.
I think so.
You're going to hear great stories like that. And here's kind of the focus. And this is something Ashley kind of developed, and I'm in for it. My background is in sales, turning businesses around, and child safety. And
trifecta.
A little trifecta. And her background is one of the most amazing hairstylists in the country. Oh. And then on top of that, she became an influencer on social media, which I just, really a couple of years ago started really understand what she was doing. But the thing that I love about Ash is when she's going to influence a product, she has turned down more products than she's accepted. Is
Oh,
that right?
For sure.
Okay, so give me what's your feeling on that? I know what it is. They need to hear.
Yeah, well, and that's literally one of the, besides growing out my gray hair, the other big question I get is, I want to be an influencer. How do you do it?
Right.
Well, you just do it. There is no wrong post. You post. You being consistent.
You do it every day.
I do it every day.
Which is amazing.
And, and this is no secret to any of my followers that I'm like somebody that's very open about mental illness. I suffer from depression. But I continue to show up because it's something I'm doing for everybody else.
How can you be depressed with a dad as
I
awesome
know.
as me?
Well, God, you guys, I don't know. That's just one of the crusty genetics that he passed down to me. Besides some skin spots, I get some random red spots on my skin.
I must have given you some good genes.
Yes, the salesman gene.
Yeah.
And
what about the good-looking gene?
The good-looking, yes.
Yeah, come on.
I mean,
I got to admit.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
And I feel like I'm charismatic. I feel like we might have faces for radio, though, Dad. But I don't know.
I don't know.
Our voices. We've got good radio voices.
Yeah. But we're going to be filming this eventually.
Yeah, eventually. So we'll have to clean ourselves up a bit. But actually, my dad is pretty well dressed. Right now, he's got some like skinny jeans on, and you've lost some weight, Dad.
I'm 67, by the way.
He's 67.
And you are?
God, how old am I, Dad? Am I 38?
30.
I'm 38.
Oh, my God.
You have old kids.
I am.
You're old.
Are you 38?
I'm 38.
Is that right? Oh,
Charlie's what, 41?
Yeah.
So you got kids in their 30s and 40s. Yeah. And, my dad's still kicking it like he's 30 or 40.
Well, I'm in a band.
Yeah, he's in a band.
Yeah.
He,
Speaking of Father Hank.
Oh, my God, you guys, we have the best sound
Father
guy
Hank
ever.
is the best sound engineer in the world and the leader of our band. He's the leader of our band, and it's called Father Hank and the Hammerheads.
I mean, seriously.
And we rock, I got to say.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And so what made you want to go back to doing music? Like, growing up, my dad would get the guitar out and sing, a wee mo whip, a wee mo.
Well, yeah, I sold out because you kids were young. But
yeah,
anyway,
you had to sing kid songs.
So we do rock and blues.
Yeah.
And, sort of a high-energy blues and rock band. We try to make it a lot of fun. We've got surfboards, in the background. It's Father Hank and the Hammerheads.
They have a theme. They're
real.
We're
going to take you on.
Precious.
We're taking you on a blues and rock cruise. That kind of deal. But anyway, so as we do the podcast, we'll talk more about that. But I started playing music when I was 14, and then played in a bunch of bands. But when I was actually in a Kiss cover band.
Nice.
But without the makeup. But nobody knew that.
Yeah.
But and this is in the 70s. The only reason we did, quote, we're a Kiss cover band is because at that time, all the chicks loved Kiss. So they would all come out, and then they'd go, oh, I thought you guys were like makeup. Hey, they already paid the $5 and they're in.
Hey, you know what? Reel them in. Reel them in.
I reeled them all in.
That's what my dad has taught me. That is reel them in.
Reel them in, baby.
No, but about just even doing the things that you really want to do in life. I feel like that goes along with being broke. Like, you have to be able to listen to your true self, your authentic self, and do those things and not be scared for failure because because you've tried businesses before and I'm sure they failed. And I've tried things, and I think when you stay authentic, you can't go wrong with
exactly. And that's what I love a lot of things about you, but the thing I really love when it comes to what you do as an influencer, you are out there every day and you're only talking about products that you use and you love. And I think isn't that the end deal of authenticity?
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, maybe it's not financially the smartest thing, only for the fact that I could get paid by companies, but I'm not going to just every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along, oh, yeah, use this and plug it for us. No, because I don't want that to be like my MO.
You got to build trust. And, you've got people all over the world that listen to your fashion advice. They listen to your hair advice. You've sort of led the way. I saw a magazine article on you that was so cool about you, being...
I was in Health Magazine, you guys.
Yeah, Health Magazine.
Women's Health.
And talking about going gray and rocking it.
Yep.
And if any of you haven't seen Ashley's Gray, go on and check her on Instagram. Yep. What are you on Instagram?
Rainy Day James 3611. I hate that I have to have numbers at the end, but you wouldn't believe that Rainy Day James was taken.
So what is it again?
Rainy Day James 3611.
Okay. So check her out and just watch her style. Watch how she does it. She's beautiful, authentic, and the cool thing is She runs her own business. She runs her own show. If she doesn't want to take a client at the shop anymore, she doesn't have to.
Yes.
She's got more clients in her beauty shop than she can take. She's busy every day. She's cranking and always out there, doing something on Instagram or one of the other platforms. And so you're right. That is the secret. You've got to swing the bat every day, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You have to. And I don't want to use the term fake it till you make it, but sometimes you kind of have to get yourself motivated. Like, okay, you know what? Like, what happens? I might fall, but what happens if I don't do it?
Right.
Then I don't like those what ifs.
Yeah.
Like, and I always grew up with, like, what I love about my dad was seeing him show up. And I think that also a lot of your kids are almost entrepreneur-like because we want to work for ourselves. I got to see my dad when he wasn't being a car dealer, and he was gone a lot because you got to work those long hours. When he became his own boss, I saw that he could hustle, always be working, but then was never missed our games, was always at all of our events and things because I'm like, wow, I want to be my own boss,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. And it's, everybody knows entrepreneurship, there's great benefits and there are some disbenefits. Mm-hmm. You got to really be careful. You got to really know what you're bringing in and what you're sending out. So, but it allowed me to do some things like I started with some volunteer work and ended up meeting John Walsh.
Yes.
With America's Most Wanted. I handled John's contracts for his safety items for 4 years. And after that, working with America's Most Wanted, I got the opportunity to start my own program called Operation Kid Safe, which is still active today. And we've safeguarded, and I'm not bragging, I'm just telling you, This is something a path that I was led upon. Like you said, you got to try things, right?
And then doors open, and you have to go with it. You can't let fear stand in your way.
Exactly. And we've safeguarded over 1.8 million kids.
Oh, that's
awesome. And given the parents a set of digital fingerprints, a photograph, and here's the key thing. I got to tell parents this right now. You asked me earlier, what's my best tip?
Yeah, that's what I asked my dad. I said, Dad, if you were going to tell somebody, some kid, or tell some parent, what's that one piece of advice that maybe a kid, maybe a mistake they make, or maybe just the number one safety tip?
Right. Well, my safety tips, one of them is now used by the FBI. And I came up with a program years ago. I found out that, like, the family passcode doesn't work. Yeah. Like you say to a 5-year-old, hey, if somebody comes up to you, the passcode this week is purple caribou, whatever, right? Well, the kid... there isn't a 5-year-old you can't get that out of. You go up and say, hey, is the password still evergreen? No, it's purple caribou. Oh, okay. I knew that. Right. Kids will give it away.
Yes.
So what you have to teach them, and this, again, I've done hundreds of town meetings. I've sat with the top leaders in law enforcement, legislation, education, sat in front of 17 governors working on legislation. And one of the things you find out is it really is simple. So here's the best tip. And if you're listening right now, this is a lifesaver for your children. Any child 4 and above can learn this. It's called check first. You simply tell the child, doesn't matter who approaches you, whether you know them or you don't. Why do you say that? Because 80% of the crimes committed against children are by people they think are endorsed by the parent.
Yep.
So, one thing, no matter who approaches you, no matter what they ask you to do, you have one rule for your safety. You run as fast as you can to the adult in charge and do what? Check first.
Check first. Yeah. So check with the adult.
Exactly.
Hey, XYZ just came up to me.
Right.
I need to come to you.
And if XYZ is someone out at the curb that is pandering to children, they're going to meet my XYZ, which is a Louisville frickin' slugger.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And that's the whole passcode thing. That is brilliant because so many to not use that.
Right.
Because, like you said, kids, I don't want to say they're easily manipulated, but they're easily fooled.
You can't, right.
Yeah.
You hit it right.
And they're trusting.
You can't let a 5-year-old be in charge of their own safety.
No, you can't.
You as a parent have to be in charge. So that's what we've done. We've given out 1.8 million of these things in the U.S. and Canada. Ashley knows, and
I used to work the events with my dad. It was awesome, and this was before he had one of the FBI, like the fingerprinting machines. Yeah. We would have to actually physically fingerprint kids. I would go to these dealerships with my dad, and as a young girl, it was really cool to see his like zest for wanting to help these kids and these families coming in. And I have memories of like rolling kids' fingerprints
and now
out.
It's all digital.
It is.
And so roll forward. We're talking about, hey, what's the name of our podcast again going to be?
Once I Was Broke.
Once I Was Broke. Okay, so think about this. That whole process was broken. So what happened? I started doing town meetings, and I got involved, and I got the first machine 20-some years ago, and now we have over 100 of them.
That's so freaking cool.
And so we do this free for families. All we do is ask for a sponsor to bring us in so we can stay alive.
Yes, exactly. It's such a great organization. It's something that, I mean, I'm a mother, and so you don't really understand that until you become a parent.
So I'm giving my website.
Yeah, give the website. Give the website.
It's operationkidsafe.com, but there's a little center hyphen between the word operation and kidsafe. So it's operation center hyphen kidsafe.com.
Okay. Yeah. So
go
write
online.
That down. Get it.
Yep. If you're listening to this anywhere in North America, it's available. All we need is a business to say, hey, we want to sponsor this. Go to the website. All the pricing's in there.
I was going to say, is there packages, those kind of things?
Everything's
and
on
so
the
that
website.
way, any local, especially locally, if you're in the Springfield, Illinois area.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you know what? We do them all over the world.
Oh, yeah. He can do them all over the place.
Yep.
But, you know, I think that there's so many local businesses love to help other local businesses.
Sure.
But what's great is you can go nationwide, worldwide. Something really great that it benefits the families in your community, and it benefits your business, all of the things.
So, hey, I got a question for you. Tell me about your deal in California, because when you told me, you know how worried I was.
Oh, yeah.
I was freaking out.
Yeah, you guys.
She says, I'm going to California. I'm going to be doing, a photo shoot. And
my dad said, how much is my plane ticket? I'm coming.
Yeah. I said, because last time.
I'm your bodyguard.
Well, last time we went to L.A. Together.
Oh, yeah.
Last time we went to LA together would have been, you were what, 12, 13?
Yeah, I was, 14.
14?
Yeah, I think I was 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah, and Kinley was like 6th grade.
Yep. Yeah.
Did we do some rodeo shopping?
I went to Rodeo Drive, you guys, and oh man,
you should have seen my freaking credit card.
Oh, it's still he's still paying it off. I bet. Holy crap! I mean, we were spoiled. Yeah. I'm telling you what. But it was such a great memory. But that was the last time I was in LA, Dad, and so I psyched myself out. But you know what? Having a dad who's a child safety advocate, I still just follow those same rules where I go find the nearest adult in charge.
Yep. Who's in charge?
I'm like, who's in charge?
Help.
Wait, this guy's not on set. And I'm telling you, there was a time when one of my Ubers was a little bit, it scared me a little bit. He had a Tesla, and I'm like, well, I didn't know how to open the damn door in those things. Yeah. There's no handle. So I'm getting in this thing and hoping it's the Uber. And then he was speaking some foreign language, but whispering it in his phone the entire time he's driving me. And so I'm recording it, and I sent JT, my husband, I sent him a picture of the info, the license plate.
In case you were attacked by an Uber.
Yes, in case this Uber guy, because I would rather, and I tell my kids this, I would rather have them overreact than be dead.
Absolutely, right.
So
be safe.
Yes,
be
overreact.
Smart. Yeah. So tell me about your trip out to LA.
Oh my God. So one of the coolest things about just showing up as who you are, I get approached by a company, T3 Micro, who is an amazing hot tools company. They're like, we love your page. We think you would be a really good fit. We only want to have about 4 or 5 influencers worldwide.
Yep.
Come for this campaign for our new heat tools.
So you were one of the ones chosen.
Yes.
Cool.
And I was like, is this a real person? I'm checking out the marketing girl. I see her page looks legit, but I have my guard up.
Oh yeah.
I always
told
think
you
somebody's
to.
trying to kidnap me.
Yep.
I got a closet full of bear spray from my dad. Every time he sees me, he's like, here's bear spray. Here's
That's
bear's pepper spray.
Every time I see her, I go, you got any more of the bear spray?
I'm like, oh, dear Lord. Yeah, my daughters have it. You know, they all know.
Yeah.
So it was a really, really cool experience because not only did I get to do something because I said yes, but I faced a fear of traveling alone. I followed all my safety tips, but I got to go there and get pampered and treated like a movie star. So, also what that did was let me know what brands are worth my time.
Right.
Because if I got treated like that from a brand, then that's what I deserve.
And what is their product?
So they are hot tools. So curling irons, blow dryers, flat irons.
Yeah.
So all hair hot tools, if you're thinking of any kind of styling tool. So I'm waiting for the kind of the commercials and the promos to come out.
So you went out and shot commercials?
Oh yeah. Like,
right.
So I'm going to be in this digital campaign. So I might even be like in Ulta stores or, I could be on a little poster. I could be in the curling iron box, not physically, guys. Yeah. You don't get me in the curling iron box.
Is that like being grounded?
Yes.
I'm in a curling iron box.
I'm in a curling iron box.
I love it. That's awesome.
But I could be in the pamphlets.
So you're basically spokesperson, spokesmodel, and they paid you to do commercials an endorsement, so to speak, and
Right.
and you already had tried their products out and they were amazing.
Yes, I use them in my salon, and that's what's so great too. It's like any kind of hair company is great to work with because I've been a hairdresser of 20 years,
Right.
which is really weird to say because
That's scary.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, 20 years experience. Holy crap. But, when you're doing something you love, I guess time flies.
Yeah.
But
Well, I've been in some form of sales for 50
yeah, that's really
50
old.
years. Yeah. I
That's
know, yeah.
old.
Hey, 67, 5 broken noses. You can look at the hand and see that.
So if you don't know my dad, and we don't have video on this is our pilot. We don't even know if this one's going to go, but I think it might. I think we might just put it out there, let people get to know a little bit about us,
I think so.
a little bit about us. But if you don't have video right now, my dad looks like Mr. T and Tony Soprano had a baby.
Okay. Yeah. That's fairly good because I used to get people all the time when I had hair. Now, if you remember, Kinley, your sister,
Yep.
also a hairstylist, I went in for a trim and she goes, Dad, I'm shaving your whole head. This is what, 10, 12 years ago?
Yeah, you're done.
And I said, no, you're not. I go, why? She said, you have bird hair on the top.
Bird.
She said, it looks like a little bird's nest.
Yep.
And I was so mortified. And then I looked at it and, it was I had like a half skullet.
Yes, you had a skullet,
Yeah.
and it was baby bird.
Yep,
He was a baby bird.
So she shaved the baby bird hair, and I've never gone back. I shave my head every day.
Now he looks
looks
legit.
I'm bald and in charge.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is good, Dad. I think
Yeah.
I think the people are gonna like us.
Okay, cool.
you
Well,
think?
so again, Ash, tell them the name of our podcast that may be coming up, and this is sort of just an intro,
But once
it is what?
Once I was broke.
And not just financially. Just once I was broke, because we are broke in a lot of areas. We need marketing advice, which
Yep.
I can help you with, and so can Ash.
Yep.
You need ideas about being an influencer. She's one of the best in the world.
Oh, gosh.
And you're killer. And I can help you with child safety. I can help you with, I can give you tips that normally get paid money for.
Right.
To tell a business in 3 tips. And I won't do it now because we're going to make them watch a podcast.
Yeah.
But I can give you 3 tips that you can increase your business by 10% just by telling employees 3 things. And I'll share that next podcast.
Yeah, the 3 things.
Upcoming.
That could be the upcoming 3 things. That could be the title of the next podcast.
Yeah.
Like the subtitle. I don't know.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
our
they're
title.
probably going to want to hear more from you because you're cuter. But anyway.
Well,
So this is our hey, we're thinking about doing a podcast. We may put this out here. We'd like to have some feedback.
Yeah.
We will, if everybody likes it and they want us to do the podcast, then we're going to do it half an hour to an hour.
Yeah.
We are going to do it every couple of weeks, and we're going to have a lot of content for you. And it's not just going to be us talking about the family, but it's going to be some of that too.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to
some of
throw
that
in.
too. I got to get slapped around, so do you.
Yes, there's some stories that have to come out.
All right. Well, I love you, sweetheart.
Oh,
and
I love you, Dad.
I'm excited about it. And
I think we got this.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the podcast, lay it out there, Ashley, is?
Once I Was Broke.
That's it.
With Sharky and Ash.
That's right. With Sharky and Ash. Thank y'all.